What would you do if the person you loved turned out to be an ancient spirit hiding beneath a river? In a forgotten African village, one young woman faced that impossible choice, and her decision changed her people forever. Long ago, in a village surrounded by thick forests and a mighty river, there lived a beautiful maiden named Adazi. She was known throughout the land for her kindness, her beauty, and her gentle heart. But there was one thing that made Adazi different from other girls. She loved wandering alone by the river. Every evening, while others returned home, she would sit on a large rock near the water and sing. The villagers warned her. The river is older than our ancestors, they would say. Spirits live beneath its waters. But Adazi always laughed. What harm can a song do? Little did she know that someone was listening, someone hidden beneath the river's depths, and that listener would change her life forever. One evening, as the sun painted the sky gold and red, Adazi sang as usual. Suddenly, she heard a voice behind her. Your voice is more beautiful than the river itself. Startled, she turned around. Standing there was a handsome young man dressed in white garments. His skin seemed to glow in the fading sunlight. Adazi had never seen him before. "Who are you?" she asked. The stranger smiled. "I am Chima." "Where do you come from?" He pointed toward the horizon. "Far away." From that day onward, Chima appeared every evening. They talked for hours. They laughed. They shared stories. And before long, Adazi fell deeply in love. Yet, there was something strange about him. Nobody in the village ever saw him arrive. Nobody saw where he lived. And he never visited during the day. Only at sunset. Only by the river. One day, Adazi told her grandmother about the mysterious man. The old woman listened carefully. Then, her face turned pale. "Does he always wear white?" "Yes." "Does he only come at sunset?" "Yes." The grandmother gripped her walking stick tightly. "Child, stop seeing him immediately." Adazi frowned. "Why?" The old woman whispered. "Many years ago, stories were told of river spirits who take human form. They lure people with beauty and charm. They promise love. And then they carry them into the spirit world." Adazi laughed nervously. "Grandmother, those are old stories." But deep inside, fear began to grow. A few days later, Chima arrived with a gift. A necklace made of shining pearls, unlike anything Adazi had ever seen. "I have something important to ask," he said. Adazi smiled. "What is it?" Chima knelt before her. "Will you marry me?" Her heart raced. It was everything she had dreamed of. Yet her grandmother's warning echoed in her mind. She hesitated. "Before I answer, tell me the truth. Who are you really?" For the first time, Chima looked troubled. The wind suddenly became cold. The river grew strangely silent. Then he spoke. "I am not from your world. Adeze stepped back. "What do you mean?" Chima sighed. "I am a spirit of the river." The necklace fell from Adeze's hands. Fear filled her heart. But Chima continued. "I love you. I have never harmed anyone. I only want you to be my wife." Adeze ran home in tears. All night she couldn't sleep. Part of her loved Chima. Another part feared him. The next morning, the village elders gathered. After hearing her story, they became worried. The oldest elder spoke. "The river spirits are powerful. If he truly loves you, he must prove it." The elders decided on a test. Chima would have to complete 3 impossible tasks. If he succeeded, Adeze could marry him. If he failed, he must leave forever. That evening, Adeze delivered the message. Chima smiled calmly. "I accept." The first task was simple in words but impossible in practice. Before sunrise, Chima must fill 1,000 baskets with fish. The villagers laughed. No fisherman could catch so many fish in one night. But the next morning, the entire village gasped. 1,000 baskets stood neatly arranged, overflowing with fish. The first task was complete. For the second task, Chima was told to bring water from 7 sacred springs located beyond dangerous mountains. Again, the villagers expected failure. But before dawn, 7 golden pots stood before the elders, each filled with water from a different spring. The second task was complete. Now everyone became afraid. Who was this being? What power did he possess? The elders gathered once more. This time, they chose the hardest challenge. "The third task is this," said the oldest elder. "You must reveal your true form before the entire village." A heavy silence followed. Even Chima's smile vanished. For a moment, he looked saddened. Then he nodded. "I will return tomorrow." The next evening, the entire village gathered by the river. Children climbed trees. Women stood together nervously. Men held protective charms. The river became unusually calm. Then Chima appeared. He walked slowly toward the water. He turned toward Adeze. "I wish things could be different." Then he stepped into the river. The water began to glow. The earth trembled. Suddenly, a massive figure rose from the depths. Its body shimmered like flowing water. Its eyes glowed blue like moonlight. Its voice echoed across the land. The villagers screamed. Some fell to their knees. Others fled in terror. Adeze stood frozen. The being before her was no ordinary spirit. He was one of the ancient guardians of the river, a creature older than kingdoms, older than memory itself. The heartbreaking decision. The spirit looked at Adeze. "You know the truth now. I can never truly belong among humans." The villagers begged Adeze to leave him. Even her grandmother wept. But Adeze stepped forward. she looked into the spirit's glowing eyes. Then she spoke. I love the man I came to know, but my place is here, among my people. A deep sadness filled the spirit's face. For a long moment, nobody spoke. Then he nodded. You have chosen wisely. The spirit raised his hand. The river began to shine. Then he made a promise. Because your heart remained pure, your village shall never know drought, and your people shall always find fish in these waters. The villagers watched in awe. Slowly, the spirit sank beneath the river. The glowing water returned to normal, and he was never seen again. Years passed. Adaze grew old, but every evening she still sat beside the river. Sometimes she sang the same songs she sang as a young girl. And villagers often claimed that on quiet nights, another voice could be heard singing softly from beneath the water. Was it the river spirit or merely the wind? No one knows. But to this day, elders tell the story of Adaze, the maiden loved by a river guardian. A tale that reminds us that love alone cannot bridge every world, and that sometimes the greatest act of love is letting go. If you enjoyed this African folktale, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more amazing stories from African Tales by Bella. And tell us in the comments, would you have chosen to stay with the river spirit or remain with your people?